Pakistan. From Peshawar, Yusuf slips across the lawless Khyber Pass into Afghanistan.
And in Afghanistan, he was able to work in some of the terror training camps there and is believed to have given lectures and taught people about explosives in those camps.
Shortly after failing to bomb the U.S. Embassy in Bangkok within 2 months of his return to Pakistan from Thailand, Yusuf, in his increasing vitriolic hatred of Shiite Muslims, gets another chance to launch a terrorist attack on his enemies, as he's approached by representatives of the Iranian rebel Mujahideen e-Khalq organization MKO, also mainly known as MEK, responsible for several terrorist attacks and assassinations in Iran. Although MEK is under the Mujahideen banner commonly known to have fought the Soviets, they are a pro-Marxist Shiite Muslim group that assisted in the 1979 overthrow of the Shah of Iran, later then creating conflict with the Khomeini regime, eventually being banned and driven out of Iran by 1981. After being expelled from France in 1986 by the request of Iran, MEK took base in Iraq, where they fought against Iran during the Iran-Iraq War alongside with Saddam Hussein's army. The MEK had asked or paid Ramzi Yusuf to lead an attack against one of the holiest Shiite sites in Iran, the Shrine of Reza, grandson of Prophet Muhammad and the 8th Shiite Imam. Few details are known about the planning for the attack, but Yusuf is believed to have spent several days building a small, easily concealed bomb containing around 11 pounds of high explosives, likely C4. Pakistani and American sources allege that Yusuf recruited his own father and one of his younger brothers, Abdul Munsin, into a cell together with a small group of virulently anti-Shiite militants from the remote town of Turbat in Baluchistan, where some of Yusuf's family still lived. They traveled across the border into Iran and then on up to Mashhad, place of martyrdom, the largest city in Khorasan province in the northeast of the country. The plotters placed a bomb in the women's section of the mausoleum, and it exploded at 2:26 p.m. on June 20th, 1994. One entire prayer hall wall of the dome caved in, and a huge aging crystal chandelier shattered above the heads of pilgrims. Human limbs and remains were blown across the hall. A young woman interviewed later from her hospital bed described the events to Iranian TV. "I was praying in the hall. I saw a yellow light. I was pushed from the way back, then down. When I opened my eyes, I was surrounded by bodies all over the place." The same report went on to show workers, many in tears, clearing shattered glass from the blood-stained marble floor of the shrine. At least 26 pilgrims died in the attack, including infants and children. More than 200 were injured. In fact, as you can tell by now, and as you'll see further ahead, this becomes not only Yusuf's most grotesque attack, it is also the most accomplished or successful bombing operation Yusuf took part in, being his most deadly attack to date, other than what he's already fugitive for from the US as the World Trade Center bomber. It was an appalling crime, all the more so that it took place on the anniversary of Ashura, considered the holiest day in Iran. Iranian security police caught up to the leader of the MKO terrorist group in East Tehran a month later, briefly interviewing him before turning into a shootout where he died the next day. Yusuf's father, who was still in Iran, was apparently arrested by the security police, while Yusuf escaped the dragnet, fleeing back into Afghanistan and then on to Pakistan. It is said the Mashhad bombing ran counter to bin Laden's efforts to work with the Iranian-influenced Hezbollah that same year, as for some reason it's long presumed Yusuf only worked in concert or at the behest of bin Laden, not as an independent contractor of a wider covering network.
Yusuf also attracts the attention of terror's upper echelon.
He did have associations with Afghanistan, with the people that were connected with Osama bin Laden.
That he was part of the early part of Al-Qaeda.
Osama bin Laden provided him with financial funding for him to then travel to the Philippines to train a group called Abu Sayyaf, which operates in the southern Philippines. It's a particularly bloodthirsty, violent group.
Philippines had porous borders at the time, and they could slip in and out easily.
Ramzi Yusuf provided them with terrorist weapons training. He taught them how to use explosives, how to operate as terrorists,